The Elimination Chamber event delivered a shocking moment that has left the wrestling world buzzing with speculation and intrigue. Naomi found herself at the center of a brutal confrontation with Jade Cargill, an encounter that appeared to answer one major question while simultaneously raising a host of new ones. The fallout from this explosive moment has fans dissecting every detail, theorizing about hidden motives, secret alliances, and potential twists still to come. Let's dive into everything that transpired at Elimination Chamber, explore why it happened, and consider what might lie ahead in this unfolding saga, because it's clear the full story hasn't been revealed just yet. The Women's Elimination Chamber match began with all the competitors making their way to the ring. Among them was Bianca Belair, who was promptly locked inside one of the pods, a standard procedure for this multi-competitor spectacle. The match was set to kick off with Naomi and Liv Morgan as the starting participants. However, before the chamber door could be secured, the atmosphere shifted dramatically. Jade Cargill's entrance music hit, and she stormed toward the ring with purpose. The crowd erupted as she stepped inside the structure, her presence immediately altering the tone of the match. Liv Morgan, visibly confused, shouted at Jade, insisting that whatever Jade was there for didn't involve her. Jade's response was calm but pointed. She acknowledged Liv's words, saying she knew it wasn't her. Then, without hesitation, Jade turned her attention to Naomi and unleashed a ferocious assault. The attack was relentless, a display of raw power and aggression that caught everyone off guard. Inside her pod, Bianca Belair watched in horror, screaming and crying as Jade pummeled Naomi in every corner of the chamber. The sheer brutality of the beatdown left no doubt about Jade's intentions, but it also raised questions about what had driven her to this point. Even Alexa Bliss, a character known for her own dark and twisted history, couldn't hide her shock. Her wide-eyed, terrified expression as she witnessed Jade's onslaught spoke volumes. Alexa has seen her fair share of chaos in the ring, yet this moment seemed to unsettle even her. Jade's attack was so savage that officials quickly intervened, stretching Naomi out of the chamber and eliminating her from the match before it could even truly begin. Without uttering a single word, Jade let her actions do the talking. This wasn't a random act of violence or a heel turn for the sake of shock value, it was personal. Jade's assault on Naomi appeared to be retribution, a lickback for an incident she believes Naomi orchestrated against her back in November. The layers of this story began to peel back further during the post-show press conference, where Bianca Belair offered her perspective on the night's events. Visibly shaken, Bianca addressed the Jade Cargill-Naomi situation with a mix of confusion and emotion. She claimed to have no knowledge of what was happening or what had transpired in November that could have sparked such vengeance from Jade. "I'm heartbroken," she said, emphasizing her need to speak with both Jade and Naomi to get answers. Her words painted her as an innocent bystander, caught off guard by the chaos unfolding around her. But then came a revelation that shifted the narrative. Bianca admitted that Naomi had been the one who convinced her that Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez were responsible for the attack on Jade months earlier. This admission was a bombshell. If true, it suggested Naomi had deliberately pointed the finger at Liv and Raquel to deflect suspicion from herself. It painted Naomi as a manipulator, someone who had orchestrated a cover-up to protect her own involvement in Jade's November ambush. For many fans, this seemed like the definitive answer. Naomi was the culprit, and Jade's attack at Elimination Chamber was her long-awaited payback. But as compelling as this reveal was, it didn't feel like the end of the story. The wrestling community, ever attuned to the nuances of these dramatic arcs, sensed that more twists were lurking beneath the surface. One prevailing theory among fans is that Naomi didn't act alone. The attack on Jade in November, they argue, was too elaborate, too well executed to be the work of a single person. Could Naomi have had accomplices? And if so, could Bianca Belair, despite her tearful protests, be hiding her own involvement? The idea that Bianca might not be as innocent as she claims has gained traction, fueled by subtle hints and unanswered questions from the Elimination Chamber fallout. Consider the dynamics at play. Naomi and Bianca have a long history as friends and allies, often sharing the spotlight in WWE's women's division. Meanwhile, Jade Cargill's arrival on the scene had shifted that dynamic. After joining forces with Bianca, Jade enjoyed a meteoric rise, forming a formidable tag team partnership that left Naomi on the sidelines. Could resentment have festered within Naomi, prompting her to take drastic action against Jade? And could she have enlisted Bianca's help to pull it off? It's a tantalizing possibility, one that suggests Naomi might have approached Bianca with a plan to dump Jade, allowing the two of them to reclaim their dominance together. The timing of Jade's return only deepens the mystery. She chose the perfect moment to strike when Bianca was safely locked in a pod, unable to intervene, and Naomi was isolated in the chamber. This wasn't a spontaneous outburst, it was a calculated move, designed to maximize Jade's advantage and send a message. Yet, throughout the entire attack, Jade never once acknowledged Bianca's presence. She didn't glance her way, gesture toward her, or offer any explanation. Instead, she left Bianca screaming and crying in her pod, a reaction that could be interpreted as genuine distress or a carefully crafted performance. Bianca's post-show comments added another layer of intrigue. While she expressed heartbreak and confusion, she also seemed eager to distance herself from any blame. Her insistence that Naomi had pushed her into believing Liv and Raquel were responsible felt like a subtle attempt to shift the narrative. Over the past few weeks, Bianca had been adamant that Liv and Raquel were the culprits, refusing to entertain alternative theories. Now, with Jade back in the picture, she was quick to pivot, pinning the misdirection on Naomi. Was this the truth, or was Bianca scrambling to maintain her image as the innocent party? Fans have latched onto a small but significant detail from the attack itself. Just before Jade landed her first blow, Naomi cast a quick glance back at Bianca. It was a fleeting moment, easily missed in the chaos, but it sparked endless speculation. What did that look mean? Was Naomi seeking reassurance from Bianca, a silent plea for help from a co-conspirator who knew the truth? Or was it simply a reflex, a glance at her friend in a moment of panic? The ambiguity has kept the theory alive that Bianca played a role in Jade's November attack, whether as an active participant or as someone who provided Naomi with the intel needed to set it up. Another compelling twist fans are exploring is the idea that Bianca might be the true mastermind. In this scenario, Bianca orchestrated the attack on Jade herself, framing Naomi as the fall guy. As Jade's tag team partner, Bianca would have had intimate knowledge of her schedule, habits, and vulnerabilities, information she could have passed to Naomi to execute the ambush. By planting evidence pointing to Naomi, Bianca could rid herself of Jade without facing consequences. When Jade inevitably returned, her wrath would be directed solely at Naomi, leaving Bianca free to pursue her own ambitions unscathed. It's a diabolical plan, one that would cement Bianca as a cunning strategist if it proves true. The stakes of this storyline are heightened by Bianca's upcoming WrestleMania match. She's slated to challenge for the Women's World title, likely against Rhea Ripley, a blockbuster matchup on paper. However, there's a wrinkle: both Bianca and Rhea are currently babyfaces, fan-favorite heroes whose clash lacks the traditional good versus evil dynamic that WrestleMania thrives on. WWE has faced this dilemma before, most recently with John Cena and Cody Rhodes, where a heel turn from Cena provided the necessary tension. Fans see a parallel here and predict a similar resolution. Rhea turning heel so soon after her babyface transition feels unlikely, but Bianca flipping to the dark side after years as a beloved figure? That's a twist that fits perfectly, especially if her role in Jade's attack comes to light. Imagine a heel Bianca Belair stepping into WrestleMania as a calculating, ruthless competitor, willing to cheat and manipulate to dethrone Rhea Ripley. With an undefeated WrestleMania record of 4 wins and 0 losses, Bianca already carries an aura of invincibility. A heel turn, coupled with the revelation of her involvement in Jade's ambush, could elevate her to a new level of menace, a champion who not only dominates physically but also outsmarts her rivals. It's a scenario that would shake up the women's division and set the stage for an unforgettable title reign. But what if the simplest explanation is the truth? If Naomi acted alone, her motives still hold weight. At the 2024 Women's Royal Rumble, Jade eliminated Naomi, a moment that may have planted the seeds of resentment. Throughout the year, Jade's partnership with Bianca flourished, leaving Naomi as the odd one out, a third wheel watching her best friend thrive without her. Perhaps Naomi reached a breaking point, orchestrating the November attack to reclaim her spot and punish Jade for overshadowing her. It's a straightforward narrative, but one that resonates with the personal stakes of professional wrestling. Even so, fans remain skeptical of Bianca's proclaimed innocence. Her emotional reaction at Elimination Chamber and her carefully worded post-show remarks have left room for doubt. Jade's refusal to engage with Bianca during the attack only fuels the suspicion that there's more to uncover. Was Jade deliberately avoiding Bianca to keep her own plans hidden? Or does she genuinely believe Bianca had no part in it? The silence between them speaks volumes, and it's a silence that promises further revelations. As the road to WrestleMania unfolds, the wrestling world is bracing for the next chapter. Whether Naomi acted alone, conspired with Bianca, or was framed by her former friend, one thing is certain: the Elimination Chamber was just the beginning. The pieces of this puzzle are still falling into place, and the final picture could redefine alliances, rivalries, and legacies in the women's division. For now, fans are left to speculate, debate, and eagerly await the twist that many believe is inevitable, because in WWE, the story is never truly over until the last bell rings.